I don't think that most of you in this room would be surprised if I told you that there is a heroin epidemic going on in our country and in our state and in our own neighborhoods. By the end of this presentation, you might be shocked by the number of lives that are affected by addiction. Heroin is in the news, but it is by no means the only substance that is laying claim to a future generation. Heroin is a killer. Addiction is a killer, and it does not discriminate. We have seen that probably maybe even in our own families, or if not that, in the family of our friends and neighbors. Heroin addiction and just addiction in general touches lives from people who live under bridges to people who live in Mountain Brook, Alabama, to people who live in mansions in California. The good news is that there is hope for this problem. There is hope for the addict that is in active addiction, and that's a little bit about what I want to talk to you about today. My name is Vicki Wall, and I want to speak to you briefly about a nonprofit organization that is relatively new on the scene, and it's dedicated to ending substance abuse. The founding members of this organization are all ex-addicts who are now living productive drug-free lives. They know firsthand what it's like to suffer from addiction, and they know firsthand that it doesn't have to be that way. Here's the problem. Like I stated earlier, addiction, especially heroin and opiate addiction, is on the rise. According to the National Survey on Drug Use and Health, 21.5 million American adults, that's people aged 12 and above, battled a substance abuse disorder, and this was in 2014. The numbers have climbed substantially since that year. Drug overdoses are now the leading cause of death among Americans under 50. The New York Times reported that overdose deaths have risen by 19% since 2015. Roughly 64,000 people died from overdoses in 2016. At World Exit Ministries, our founding members are living proof that addiction can be conquered. We believe that only a life changed from the inside out can bring about this result. This is who we are. World Exit Ministries is a faith-based 501c3 nonprofit organization that operates out of Hueytown, Alabama. I personally have been involved with this organization since somewhere around 2011. Our mission at World Exit Ministries is to provide financial assistance, housing, and hope to men and women in active addiction who just don't have the means to pay intake fees for a long-term recovery center. And we believe